We are advancing. So we're the number one demographic, advancing in careers, education, making money, getting the bag, and different things of that nature.
Hey, yo, what is going on? I am the distinguished professor, and this is the TDP podcast. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most controversial topics in modern dating today. Are Black women really too educated and successful for Black men, or is it just another excuse? Let's talk about it. Hey, before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you tap that notification bell so you're not targeted to any one of my next sessions. As you guys know, I'll link the content creator back down in the description. Hey, but without further ado, class is in session.
Why are Black women the least married?
Well, I'll go first. I know there's multiple reasons because I've seen the study. Me and my friends talk about it. So one of it is we're choosing to marry within our race, and we are out. The numbers don't add up. It's way more Black women than men. Yeah, they're either in prison, dead. They don't like women, whatever the case may be, which is to your choice. But it's the numbers aren't adding up, right? So that's one of it. The second part is that we are advancing. So we're the number one demographic, advancing in careers, education, making money, getting the bag, and different things of that nature. And we're trying to find sometimes some of the women, because I don't like to speak to all women, we're trying to find our equal. And it is harder when you have the average Black male making what we said, $55,000 a year, right? Yeah. And then you have a lot of Black women that are educated in the most, in out of all the other demographics, especially leading in women, and we can't find our equal. And people, a lot of women are struggling with that. So, but I do know that it has been increasing when we do marry outside of our race. And we're open, we're more open-minded. So I wouldn't say it's based on us not subscribing to traditional gender roles, because I love gender roles, traditional. I know a lot of people who do, so I wouldn't say that, but there's there are a lot of different reasons. And we were raised different. We were just talking about that. So some Black women, we were raised, because we have female friends of other races. They're in their culture, they're raised when they're young to get married right out of college, to seek a husband in college, things of that nature, be a mother, be a wife. Some of us, or most of us, were raised to go after our career. Like, you don't need a man, you want a man, right? And we were raised with those different things. I come from a 2-parent household, parents still married 40 plus years, because they know I always get the number for, I think 46 years, 47 years. But so I've seen that. I was brought up in a family where most of everybody was married. A lot of people I know are married. I have the examples in the community, right? But that's, and I know what that means, but a lot of us were raised to focus on career, education, things of that nature, and then get married a little later in life.
Yeah, so we just saw that video. I'll get back into it real quick, but because there's some things that another lady said that I really want to get into. But this young lady said a lot of things that people have said on the internet. This is the going trope on the internet, that Black women are more educated, that Black women make more money, that Black women can't find someone on that level, that there's not enough Black men out there because they're either dead or in jail. What's the other part? She said that Black men, that we stay within our race and Black men don't, because we love Black men more than Black men love us. You hear all these things all over the internet. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to actually go through the numbers to show exactly what the actual thing is, because a lot of people refuse to do that. They'll keep spewing the same information online. And so one woman says it and they stay on that girl code and everyone says it. It makes absolutely no sense. But it's really not the men. It's the mindset. The whole I'm educated, so I deserve a higher level man just does not work in our society. It doesn't work in this culture. It's not what you deserve. It's what you qualify for. So no matter how much money you have or how beautiful you think you are, if you're not getting the results that you think you should be getting, then obviously what you think you are is not correct. You need to reevaluate yourself. I swear a lot of women in our community, in our culture, really feel as if they're better than what they have a huge ego. I think the song Ego by Beyonce and Kanye West really sticks with them. I got a big ego. That's what they live by. They want to call themselves queens and divas and things of that sort. And a man should love them no matter how big they are. These are things that don't make sense. And going back to that lady, she wasn't the most physically fit that she could be. And I also did not see a ring on her finger. So either she was married and divorced or she's never been married. And this woman grew up in a 2-parent household. So she should have more advantages than a woman who did not. Yet there's no ring on her finger. And again, we take score by rings on fingers. We take score by marriages. And if you've never been married or if you're not married, we got to ask you why, because you had something to look at. You had a model to model yourself after. So either you didn't see what was going on or your mother didn't do a good job. Maybe she'll talk about it more in the video because I'm going to play a little bit more of it. But maybe your mother didn't do a good job. And I'm not talking necessarily to you. I'm talking to women like you, because there's no reason why, one, you should be the size that you are and you should be single. That does not make sense. Women have to understand something. Education is not the same as femininity, cooperation, or being a wife. So I don't care about your education. I don't care about how much money you make. The reason why we don't care about how much money you make is because you're not spending money on us. You're not. You may say, well, I spent $400 on this or $1,000 on this. We spend that on dates. $200 dinner, $300 dinner. We spend that on dates. So you spending $1,000 once a quarter or once a year or once every 6 months means nothing to a man. This is why it doesn't matter how much money you make. It does not matter how much education you have, because I swear, the more education the women in our community get, the more they feel like they do not need a man. The further they go from a man. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Black women go to college to prove they do not need a man. This is why they go to college. But in addition to that, those women that I think she's talking about outside of the culture who get married early, those women understand they go to school to find their man. And when they find their man, they may work for 6, 7, 8, 10 years. And then when they start having a family, that man is also leveled up. So now, because they leveled up together, that man can now sit her down, meaning she can stay home and raise the kids till the kids go off to school. And if she chooses to go back to work, she can. But because we refuse to couple at an early age, this is what we get. So a lot of our women, like Asha, just put their heads down in the sand. They get on the cock carousel for 10 to 15 years. They look up at 35 or 36 or 37 and try to figure out, well, hell, I make 100,000, I make 300,000, I make 200,000. And now we're all the men that make the same amount of money I do. Well, the men that make the same amount of money you do don't want women that's 36, 37, 38. They do not, whether you like it or not. They rather go find the 25, 26, 27-year-old version of you. Why? Because they want that youth. They want the womb. They want the femininity. They want that fun that comes with it. They don't want all that jadedness that may come. They don't want all the baggage that may come. They don't want all that cock carousel that may come. They don't want that. They want the woman that they can, I hate the word mold, because no matter what relationship you're in with a man or woman, you're going to sort of do what you need to do to fit that person. So if I'm dating a woman and she says, I don't like flat water, I only like spring water, well, I'm going to buy spring water. Just makes sense. I'm not going to buy flat water for her. I'm not going to make her drink flat water. She'll get spring water. Cool. Same thing with a woman. So if I like my bed made every morning, well, if you're my wife and we don't have a cleaning lady, then yes, I would like you to make the bed every morning. Hey, what up, though? It's your favorite professor. Office hours are always open. Jokes are always free. Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the fastest growing classroom on YouTube. We're blowing up like the group project the night before it's due. But for real, this show does not happen without you. So subscribe, or I might just start handing out pop quizzes. And trust me, they're all essay questions. Let's get it. That's just what it is. While I go to work and you stay home with the kids, whatever it is, however the dynamic looks, that's how it goes. But we refuse to do that. That's the biggest issue in our community. We talk about generational wealth. Well, how do you build generational wealth by yourself? I'm going to pull up a study real quick before we get into the numbers. Here in Charlotte, North Carolina, there was a study done that said to live comfortably, it takes $92,612. Let me pull that study up real quick. Give me one moment. So as you can see here, it says In Charlotte, a typical single person would have to earn $92,612 to live a comfortable lifestyle. Let that sink in. $92,612 to live a comfortable lifestyle. So nearly $100,000 to live comfortably in Charlotte. Now, it also said the median household income in Charlotte is $78,438. Again, the median household income is $78,438, while the average monthly cost of living is $38.59. So the median household income is $78,438. The median cost of living is $38.59. So again, if let's say they go what they said, $55,000 for men. Let's say I made 55 and you made 40. That's $95,000. That is above the $78,438 threshold of the median household income. This is why we work together. Most CEOs, most people that move up, most C-suite executives are married men. There's a reason why they reach that level. There's a reason behind that. So if we're making $90-something thousand together, we're making more than the median household, more than the median household in Charlotte. Why does that not work? How does that not work? Every man is not going to make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. It's just not going to happen, especially if you want to stay within your race. It just doesn't work that way. So the one thing she did say, she talked about how there are more men than women. Let's go through that. And just so you guys know, since Roe v. Wade was passed, 21 million plus black babies have been deleted. So 21 million, could have been men or women, have been deleted since Roe v. Wade. So let's just talk about that. We do lead in deletions of babies. We have led in deletions of babies since Roe v. Wade. So I don't care what you believe in. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm just saying if those babies were here, and I know I'm gonna get the argument or the pushback, well, you expect somebody to raise a kid because they're poor or someone took advantage of them or incest. Those are very small percentages. And again, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. So let's give you what you want. Let's say the 3% that happens to. Let's take that 3% out. So now let's say 18 million deletions of babies. So that's 18 million people that could have been here. So there are 21.5 million black women in this country and 20 million black men. So 21.5 to 22 million black women and about 20 million black men. So let me just get that out there. 52% to 48%. So there's more black women than there are black men. That is a fact. That is actual. So that is what that is. I'll give her that one. So there are more black men than there are more black women than there are black men. In addition to that, more black men are married than black women, which is why I say black men are more marriage-minded than black women. Black women are not marriage-minded. This is why you see a percentage of black men marrying outside their race. This is from blackdemographics.com. It's demographics by black people for black people. It's like the FUBU demographics. Black marriage in 2021. Again, I told you, 85% of black men are married to black women. So there's a 15% difference. While there is a 7% difference when it comes to women. So 93% of black women are marrying black men. So 7% to 15%. So 8% more black men are getting married to non-black women. So these are the numbers shake up. Black men are more marriage-minded than black women. I will stand 10 toes down on that, and I want you to go in the comments and tell me something different. Please provide the statistics, the data. But that shows that black men are more marriage-minded than black women. How many times have you heard, well, I'm too young, or I wasn't ready, or I thought this, or I thought that. In our community, black women value motherhood over being a wife. Being a mother is more valuable than being a wife. That makes no sense. That's why these women out here acting the way they act, because they have no covering. They do what they want to do, act how they want to act, and don't want to take accountability for the actions or the repercussions that come with it. Where is the accountability in the Black community when it comes to our women? And this is not a bashing of women. I've spoken ad nauseum about Black men and what we need to be doing. But when she brings up stuff like this, that's been perpetuated throughout the internet, I have to dispel it because it's incorrect. And I'm going to show you the numbers why. She said Black women are more educated. Let's look at that. So Black women always talk about how they're the most educated demographic. So what this says here, the claim that Black women are the most educated demographic in America comes from a 2014 study that cited the percentage of Black women enrolled in college in relation to other race or groups. Considering enrollment alone gives an incomplete picture. So you guys say that you're the most educated. That is an incorrect statement. You are the most enrolled. You're not the most educated. You're the most enrolled. That does not mean you're finishing. And that was from a 2014 study. So let's go look at the numbers. So I know a lot of women like to ask, where do you get your numbers from? Where are the numbers at? So these numbers that I'm showing you right now come from the National Center of Education Statistics. If you can't read it, here it is. The National Center for Education Statistics. So if you have better numbers, please bring them this way. I would love to see them. If you have better numbers than the National Center for Education Statistics, please let me know. So this is going by degrees. As you can see, the last time it was from 2021 to 2022. If you have anything better than this from a credible source, please let me know. That's updated. I will love to look at it and review it. So this is associates, bachelor's, master's, doctorate degrees by race, ethnicities, sex of student by 2021-22. So let's look at it. We're looking at the major ones, not American, Indian, or Asian, or Alaska Native, or two or more races. Associate's degree are females, Black female, well, Asian females, 6.1%. Make sure you have a pen and paper or pencil and paper to write these down so you can see that you're wrong. Asians, associate's degrees, 6.1%. Blacks, 13.6%. I'm right here. These are females, 6.1, 13.6. Hispanic, 27.4. So right there, Hispanics are getting more associate degrees than Blacks. White people, white females, 47.8%. 47.8% of white women are getting education. So let's see, 47, 27, 13. So you're third place there. Asians are last in that category for associate's degrees. We'll find out why later. Going down to bachelor's degrees. Female, Asians, 8.3. Black, 11.5. Hispanic, 17.9. So more Hispanic women, ladies, are getting more bachelor's degrees than you are. Whites, 57.3. So again, when it comes to that female delegation, female demographic for education, Black women are third again. Let's go down to master's degrees. Female, 7.4% of Asians, 14% of Black women, 13.6% of Hispanics. So just 0.4% more, less than Black women. So Black women, you've come up when it comes to getting a master's degree. I'm a PhD, all right? White women, 60.9%. White women, again, are leading in these degrees. 60.9% of white women are getting master's degrees. So Black women, good job. Congratulations. You're second in the master's degree category. Now let's go to the final, the doctorate, the PhD, the MD. So let's go all the way down. Doctor's degree, female, Asian. This is probably why they're lower in other categories, because their women are getting doctorate degrees. 12.5% of Asian women are getting doctorate degrees. 11.9% of Black women are getting degrees. These are all women that are enrolled and going to school, enrolled in colleges. 10% of Hispanic women, 61.6% of white women. So again, ladies, when it comes to doctorate degrees, you're third. So out of 4 categories, associates, bachelor's, master's, and doctorates, women, you are third in 3 out of the 4. You are second in 1 out of 4. So where do you get off saying you're the most educated? You're not. Now, if you want to say you're more educated than your black male counterparts, the numbers are right here. The numbers are right here. They show that. But you cannot keep going on and keep saying that you guys are the most educated, because the study in 2014 only talked about enrollment. It did not talk about actual degrees. Again, we don't take score by enrollment. We take score by the pieces of paper that you hang on the wall. Just like we take score by rings on your finger. That's how we take score here. So that hopefully that dispels that myth that black women are the most educated, because they're not. All right, and you guys want to talk about how black women make more than black men? Let's pull up the data on that. The weekly earnings of wage and salary workers, fourth quarter 2024. This is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This is U.S. Department of Labor. So if you got something better, holla at me, because you need to know where these numbers come from. So news release, Bureau of Labor Statistics. All right, here we go. Median usual weekly earnings of full-time wage and salary workers by selected characteristics, quality or averages not seasonally adjusted. This is quarter four, fourth quarter, 2024. Again, fourth quarter, 2024. We're going to go down this column right here. It's the column we're going down. Fourth quarter, 2024. So, this is weekly salary and wage earners. We have black, African American. All right, let's look at it. This is 2024. 2024. And we'll go through each category as well. But I want to look at the black people first. Black men make $1,118 per week. $1,118 per week. If you do that by 52 weeks, it's 58136. So black man roughly makes about $58,000 per year. Let's look at black women. It says black women. It says black women. You are making. Let's go to that. $978 per week. $978 per week, or around $51,000 per year. So men 58, women 51. So let's say 51 plus 58 is 109. So the average black man, average black woman are making $51,000 and $58,000 per year, right? If you put them together, we got together, that's $109,000. Again, if you lived in Charlotte, the median household income is $78,000. So let's say 80,000, round up 80,000. There's still $29,000 left over to do whatever you need to do. Take your trips like you women like to do, travel, right? Do your traveling. Raise a kid or two. You know, you ain't going to private school. Well, she ain't going to private school, but there's a $30,000 surplus. What are we talking about here? But if we continue to make the $51,000 as a regular person, right? It just showed you in Charlotte, it's $92,000, $92,612 a year, so almost $93,000. You got a $41,000 deficit. If you're a woman, if you're a man, you have a little bit less than that, right? So at the end of the day, we work better together. So I don't care how you was raised or what you saw growing up, we work better together. We make more together than we do apart. Stop looking for the ready-made man. Go get you an IKEA man. IKEA, if you see this, go ahead and send me a couple $. But when you talk about you're the most this and the most that, the numbers are not adding up. The numbers ain't numbering. The math ain't mathing. Now, when you look at fourth quarter, white women, you're looking at 1094. White women are making more than you, black women. They're making 1094 to 978. We look at Asian women. They're making $1,367 to $978. We look at Hispanic women, $844 to $978. So black women, guess where you are? You're ranked third again. Third in education, third in salary. But you know where you're number one in? Consumer debt. Because you're financing these trips and these cars on credit cards with high interest rates. Some women out there, and I think some women are more financially astute than some men are. But by and large, you know, these are what the numbers look like. These are what the numbers are looking like. But I guarantee you this, Asian women are cooperating and getting along with their men. Because I guarantee you can't go to a Chinese food store or go to a cleaners and not see a woman working in there. You know, Hispanic women are making less than black women, but they're still cooperating with their men. White women are making more than black women, and they're still cooperating with their men. What is the issue? I know what it is, but what is the issue for you? Tell me why. I'm going to show one more piece of this and we're going to get up out of here.
I grew up in a two-parent household. I saw my mom and my dad unhappily married. And my mom was a very strong, independent black woman and raised me and my sister to be the exact same. And my husband says a lot more is caught than taught. And because she never taught us. She never said, get a man, don't get a man. We just watched her. And we watched her not need my dad. We watched my dad try and push away. Like, I don't need you. I got this. Don't even worry about it. And I just knew I didn't want that for myself. Now, I have been that type of woman in my lifetime. I think a lot of women in today's society are they're not women, black women are not getting married because of that headstrong mentality, that I don't need you mentality that was shown to them, taught to them, whatever the case. Not saying that they don't want it, but they don't know how to receive it. And so that guard, that hard exterior that they put off is off-putting to men. Men across the board, whatever race you are,
soft women.
Yeah, they want a woman, and people get in trouble. Women get in trouble with like submission and all that. That's what they want.
So yeah, I wanted to show that last part to show you what a woman's actually saying. She's saying some of the things that a lot of men are actually saying. See, what's going on is a lot of women don't understand the value of a man and how the man's value gets better as time goes on. So if you spent your best years rejecting that average man, don't be mad when that average man becomes a high value man and doesn't pick you. But yo, let's be honest. Let's get out of here. Let's be honest. Black women aren't struggling to find black men. They're struggling to accept black men as they are. Let me say it again. Black women are not struggling to find black men. They're struggling to accept black men as they are. If marriage was about degrees, professors would have the happiest marriages, but they don't. You don't outgrow men. You outprice yourself for what men actually want. You don't outgrow or outlevel men. You outprice yourself for the man you actually want. If you want to have a successful career, by all means, that is your choice. Have a successful career. There's no issue with that. I'm not saying don't have one. If you look at the former CEO of Pepsi, she was a woman, obviously. She was an Indian descent, so Asian Indian, right? And she told the story.
And I was working in the office. I worked very late, and we were in the middle of the Quaker Oats integration or the acquisition. And I got a call at about 9:30 in the night from the existing chairman and CEO at that time, and said to me that, Indra, we're going to announce you as president and put you on the board of directors of PepsiCo. I mean, I was overwhelmed because, look at my background, where I came from. to be president of an iconic American company, and to be on the board of directors. I mean, I thought it was just something special had happened to me. So rather than stay and work till midnight, which I really would have done because I had so much work to do, I decided to go home and share the good news with my family. So I got home at about 10, parked the car, got into the garage, and my mother was waiting at the top of the stairs. And I said to her, Mom, I got great news for you. And she said, well, then let the news wait. Can you go out and get some milk? I said to Mom, look, I looked in the garage. Looks like my husband is home. What time did he get home? She said, 8 o'clock. I said, why didn't you ask him to buy the milk? Because he's tired. Okay, he's tired. He's tired. We have a couple of help at home. Why didn't you ask them to get the milk? She said, because I forgot. I said, okay, fine. She said, just go get the milk. We need it for the morning. So I, like a dutiful daughter, I went out and got the milk and came back. I sort of banged it on the counter and I said, I had great news for you. I've just been told that I'm going to be president on the board of directors, and all that you want me to do is to go out and get the milk. What kind of a mom are you? And she said to me, let me explain something to you. You might be president of PepsiCo, you might be on the board of directors, but when you enter this house, you're the wife, you're the daughter, you're the daughter-in-law, you're the mother, you're all of that. Nobody else can take that place. So leave that damn crown in the garage and don't bring it into the house.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. How many mothers in our community would have made that same statement? This woman said she's married. She's obviously married, and she's successful in her career. She's married. She got home at 10 o'clock. Husband was home at 8. They have help. They have kids. And the mom still asked her to go back and get milk. And what did she say to her? You are a wife. You are a mother. You are a daughter. When you enter this house, you put that damn crown away. How many mothers would have checked their daughter like that in the Black community? So I'm sure there's some compromises she's made in her relationship, but she's still married. So you can't tell me, Black women, that you can't have a career and be married. You can't tell me that you cannot be the wife to your mother, to the wife to your husband. You can do both. Now, if you choose to only work on your career, you can't have that and a husband, because I guarantee you she didn't wait till 35, 40, 50 years old to get married. I guarantee you she got married in her 20s and she just kept her career. But you can't build your career, wait till you're 35, and then go out and try to find a man when you've made something of yourself. I'm sure her and her husband built that life together. So let that be a lesson. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I appreciate you guys for rock with me. As you guys know, the link to the original content is in the description below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. But I want to hear your comments. Are Black women outpricing themselves for the dating market? Definitely want to hear your comments. But guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Class dismissed. Hey there, it's the Distinguished Professor. Click here to subscribe to the Distinguished Professor YouTube channel for hard-hitting panel discussion, the hottest reaction videos, and compelling analysis of current events you cannot find anywhere else. Remember, class is always in session. Stay sharp, stay informed, stay distinguished.
This big Black man.